Hi guys, Chris here with Super Savvy Travelers. Hey, today I wanted to go over very important phrases and information that you need in case of an emergency in Italy. Now, I've also created a PDF for you that I would really like you to I have it on the school platform. It's free. Go join school, go into the classroom section, print off this PDF, laminate it, and put it wherever is handy for you. And also take a picture for your phone. Put it in one of your files in your phone so you always have it there when you need it or if you need it. Let's hope you never need it. But if you need it, it's always there. So the very first and most important thing you need to know is the number 112 on your phone. And the number 112, 112, is the number to call in case of an emergency. And that is an Italy-wide number. And it is set up a lot for tourists as well. So you're very likely to get somebody who speaks English when you call that number. All the other numbers I wouldn't even mess with. Just 112, call them. Tell them what's happening, tell them where you are and what's going on medically or whatever, and that'll get you started. They can come to you and then from there you figure it all out. The important data that I have in this document, I have made bigger in relation to how much more important it is. A lot of times when you try to come up with phrases and things like that for emergencies, they give you a big, long, grammatically correct phrase. No. Like instead of c'è un incidente sulla strada, you can just say incidente strada. That communicates. So don't worry about grammar when you're freaking out. One of the phrases you need to say is è un'emergenza. Now, you don't have to say è un'emergenza and be grammatically correct. Just say emergenza and that will communicate. The next phrase that you probably want to memorize is ho bisogno di un'ambulanza. And that is, I need an ambulance. Ho bisogno means literally, I have need of. Okay, ho bisogno d'acqua, I need water. Okay, ho bisogno, that's a very good phrase to memorize because it's also good when you're looking for something in a supermarket or a store and you don't see it and you're asking the clerk, I need, staples, I need printer paper or something like that. But in this case, you're saying, I need an ambulance. Ho bisogno di un'ambulanza. Or you can just point at yourself wildly and freakily, like I would do, and say, ambulanza per favore, and that will get you there. The next phrase is, ho bisogno della polizia. I need the police. And this is in case you get robbed or something's happening or you're being threatened or something like that, and you need to have the police called. Again, you can say, polizia. I think they'll get it. The next one is, ho bisogno dei vigili del fuoco. Vigili del fuoco is the fire department. So if there's a fire, you probably want to be able to say that. Again, you can say c'è un fuoco. It's probably not grammatically perfect, but people will go, okay, gosh, there's a fire, we better do something. It's all about simplifying because in case of an emergency, you're not going to go, okay, ho bisogno dei vigili del fuoco. You're just going to go c'è un fuoco and freak out and everybody will get it, okay? Okay, very important. What do you say when you call 112? Again, you're calling 112 and they're on the phone with you, and what do you tell them? The first thing you're going to want to tell them is where you are. Sono a. And it would be good if you had a street name or an address, or if you're in the supermarket, you can tell them that. If you're at the macelleria, you can say I'm at the macelleria and the name of it. Or even if there's a business close by, you can say sono vicino and say the name of the business. And most of the time people will understand and be able to respond. Now, if you don't know where you are, which when you're traveling is a lot of times, you're going to say, non so dove mi trovo. I don't know where I find myself. Non so dove mi trovo. You can also say, non so dove sono. I don't know where I am. And that will communicate as well. Non so dove sono. Now, in the PDF that I'm sending you, there is a lot of other phrases, but we're not going to go over them here because I don't want to give you too many when you're trying to memorize stuff. The next one is, there has been an accident. C'è stato un incidente. You don't have to say c'è stato. You can just go un incidente and they'll get it. What I would do is say un incidente sulla strada, on the street, so they know it's on the street outside. Un incidente nella casa, so they know they have to find the house and come inside, and there would be very helpful if you had the address. Or un incidente nel giardino, an accident in the garden. Any of those things are helpful, but if you just go incidente and tell them where you are, they'll know send emergency services. Now, in the document I'm giving you, it talks about a person has fallen, a person has been injured. A very important one, and this is why I made it bigger in the document, una persona non respira. There's somebody not breathing. Okay, obviously that's the first thing you want to tell them because that's a serious medical emergency. Questa persona non respira. This person is not breathing. Very important. So I made that very big in the document here. It talks about c'è un incendio, there's a fire, c'è del fumo, there's smoke, all of those stuffs. You know, you just say what you need to say to communicate. In an emergency, don't worry about grammar, don't worry about saying it correctly, just spit it out. And at some point, they'll get it. All right, medical emergencies. Ho bisogno di un medico. I need a doctor. Or you can say medico and point at yourself. Maybe do some of this. I would do whatever charades you have to do to get the point across, but un medico, people will get it, okay? Ho bisogno di un'ambulanza. We already went over that. I need an ambulance. Or you can just say ambulanza per favore. That will do it. Ambulanza per favore. That means ambulance, please. There's a bunch of other phrases that you could use when you go to the hospital or to the doctor or whatever. Oh, molto dolore. I have a lot of pain. Dolore is pain. You could just say dolore, go like this, and then point at whatever body part. That works. Sto molto male. I feel very sick. Well, duh, you're in the hospital. Don't even worry about that one. Mi fa male al petto. Now, this is important because it could be heart related. Petto is chest, okay? Mi fa male. Something, my chest is making me hurt, okay? So, mi fa male al petto, I am hurting in my chest. If you have heart issues, you probably need to memorize that one, and I made it big in the PDF for you guys. Non riesco a respirare. That is, I cannot breathe. However, you can also say non posso respirare, or you can even say non respiro bene, or you can go respirare. They'll get it. And in fact, that's probably what I would do. Because let me tell you something, no matter how good your Italian is, when you're faced in a stressful situation that could be life and death, it all goes out the window. Just learn these words. Respirare, petto, dolore, you know, all of that stuff. It all communicates. They may laugh, so what? You'll be alive. Another really important phrase that I made big here is ho perso conoscenza. That means I lost consciousness. That's important because it's medically, it's something you want to really look into immediately, I think. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor, caveat. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a butcher, baker, candlestick maker. I'm just saying, if I were going to faint or had fainted, I would probably go to the emergency room. Ho una forte reazione allergica. Now, you don't have to say all that forte. Just say, ho una reazione allergica. Male, forte. Just say whatever you can to get the point across. Forte means strong. So if you say reazione forte allergica, they will know what you're talking about. For injuries, if you're bleeding, sto sanguinando. I'm bleeding. That's pretty important, especially if you're bleeding profusely. If you're bleeding from your finger, I wouldn't go into that, but obviously, but if you're bleeding, you know, sto sanguinando. I am bleeding. You can also say, I think I broke my leg, I think I broke my arm, I think I broke this or that or the other thing. Just say, I think I broke something. Credo di essermi rotto a qualcosa. Or you can say, rotto gamba, broken leg. Rotto braccia, broken arm. Rotto caviglia, broken ankle. Rotto qualcosa, broken something. I would stick with rotto qualcosa and pointing and charades. I think you're going to get it. It's going to be pretty obvious when they see you what body part is broken, unfortunately. Now, important medical information. I am allergic to, sono allergico a, and it has the masculine, sono allergica, sono allergico if you're a man, a masculine, feminine. Don't worry about masculine and feminine when in an emergency. Just say allergico, sono allergico, or allergica, whatever comes out, and whatever medication or thing that you're allergic to. Prendo questi farmaci. These are the medicines that I take. Prendo questi farmaci. Or you can say medicina and then have a list. They'll understand. Or you can say farmaci io prendo, and then have a list. You might also have something with you in writing that has all of this on it. If you're out and about, you're diabetic, you're allergic to penicillin, you're allergic to certain things that they might give you, you have a pacemaker, it would be good to create a little card and laminate that card and put it in your wallet so that if you ever have an emergency, you just hand it to the doctor. Look, here's my whole thing. I have a pacemaker, I'm diabetic, I'm allergic to this, that, and the other. I have metal in my body. I'm a walking robot internally. Great. Iron Man. I'm Iron Chris. Anyway, that's all good for them to know. Put it on a little card, laminate it, stick it in your wallet, and then when you show up at the doctor's office, ba-bam, there you are. Ho problemi cardiaci. I don't even know if I said that right. Put that on your card. Sono incinta. I'm pregnant. Incinta. Sono. Sono means I am. Incinta is pregnant. Or you can just point at your stomach and go, incinta. Sono anticoagulante. I am on anticoagulants. Important information. Again, put that all on your card. Now, getting to the hospital, very important, very important. The hospital and a pronto soccorso. Many times they're together, but sometimes they're not. Pronto soccorso is emergency room where you go for emergencies. So if something happens and you're like, you need it, you go, dove è il pronto soccorso, which means where's the emergency room, okay? Or you can just say dove pronto soccorso. Now say that with me. Pronto soccorso. Pronto is immediate and soccorso is help. Immediate help, emergency room. Keep that in mind. So you can also say dove è l'ospedale più vicino. That is, where is the nearest hospital. However, you can leave off the più vicino part, the closest, because I don't think they're going to go, well, there's a hospital 20 miles away when there's one next door. They're going to give you the closest hospital. You can say dove è l'ospedale. L'ospedale is hospital. Another good phrase is devo vedere un medico. I need to see a doctor. You can also say dottore. Ma medico is better because it's specifically a medical doctor, not a doctor of Italian taxes or something like that. All right, if you don't speak Italian well, again, have your card with you and give them all your information, like all your basic information should be on a card, laminated in your wallet. Plus, if you speak Italian but you can't speak, boom, it's right there. Non parlo bene italiano. I don't speak Italian very well. Or you can say italiano non bene. That'll communicate as well. The police, you can say la polizia. That is the police. Chiamate la polizia means call the police. Now, they use chiamate, which is a verb form meaning you plural. So everybody around me call the police. Or you can just say chiamare polizia, call police. You don't have to get the verb tenses correct. Aiuto means help. Aiuto, help. In case of a fire, the most important phrase is al fuoco. Al fuoco. That's it, a fire. Now, another very important phrase when you're trying to help others is dobbiamo uscire. We have to leave. Dobbiamo, we all must, uscire, leave. Okay, another very important phrase in case of an emergency is dove l'uscita? Where's the exit? Now, in Italy, they have exit signs too, but you probably want to ask somebody if you don't want to spend the time looking for it. In case of an accident, an automobile accident, you can say incidente stradale or incidente alla strada. That tells them there's an accident on the street. An important thing is ci sono persone ferite, which means there are injured people. Or you can say persone ferite, which means injured people. That will get it across. You don't have to say ci sono, you don't have to do any of that stuff. Chiamate un'ambulanza, you can say that, or you can simply say ambulanza. So for example, if you're calling up and there's somebody injured in a car accident, you can say incidente, strada, ambulanza, persone ferite. And that will say everything you need to say. There's some more phrases here about dogs and veterinarians. Il mio cane è ferito, that's my dog is injured. Or il mio cane non può respirare. This one is not succeeding to breathe. You don't need all that. Just say il mio cane non respirare. He's not breathing. Il mio cane ha mangiato qualcosa di velenoso, which is my dog has eaten something that's poisonous. Say he eats a mushroom or God forbid some rat poison or something like that velenoso is poisonous. That's something you really want to memorize when you have dogs. For your dog or cat, dove è il veterinario? Where is the veterinarian? Okay, so we're going to go over these words and I'm going to say them with you because they're important. And I think you can say a lot with just a few words. So emergenza is emergency. Say it with me. Emergenza. Emergenza, emergency. The second one is ambulanza, ambulance. Ambulanza, ambulance. The next one is medico, and that is a medical doctor. Medico. The next one is infermiera or infermiere, depending on masculine or feminine. Again, don't worry about it. Just use infermiera. I need a nurse. Infermiera, per favore. Most of the time, if you put per favore after it, which means please, that's like going, nurse, please. Okay, that communicates. Ospedale, hospital. Ospedale. Pronto soccorso, emergency room. Pronto, immediate. Soccorso, pronto soccorso. Farmaco is medication. Farmaco, not to be confused with farmacia, which is a pharmacy. Medicina, medicine. Medicina. Allergia, allergy. Allergia. Dolore, pain. Dolore, pain. You can say dolore and point to whatever body part and they will understand what you're talking about. Ferita, wound or injury. Sangue, blood. If you say molta sangue, that will communicate. You don't need to say sto sanguinando or whatever else. You can just say molta sangue, a lot of blood. Svenuto or svenuta just means fainted. Again, that's masculine, feminine. You can use svenuto and that's fine. Incidente, accident. Incidente. Incendio, fire. Incendio. Fumo, smoke. Fumo. Pericolo, danger. Pericolo. Polizia, police. Carabinieri, carabinieri, which is the carabinieri, the military arm of the police. And you see them on the street a lot of times pulling people over and checking your revisione. Make sure you have your revisione in your car. It's a special document that shows your car's safe to drive. Vigili del fuoco, it is the fire department. Vigili del fuoco, the guys who are alert to fire. Farmacia, pharmacy, farmacia. Now, one thing about the pharmacies, a lot of times you can get things like antibiotics and things at the pharmacy because the pharmacists are generally doctors. So whenever I have, say, a bladder infection or a rash that won't heal, I go to the farmacia and they give me something that might not be available over the counter in the US. Veleno, memorize this if you have dogs or cats. Veleno, poison. Okay, now here's the 5 phrases that could save your life. Very important. È un'emergenza. It's an emergency, or just emergenza. Second one, ho bisogno di un'ambulanza. Leave out the ho bisogno stuff. Just go, ambulanza, per favore. Third one, non riesco a respirare. Forget that. Non posso respirare, or non respiro. Or you can say, respirare, problema. That's a good one. Problems with breathing. Dove è il pronto soccorso? You can say pronto soccorso. Dove? Non parlo bene italiano. I don't speak Italian very well. Or parla inglese? Do you speak English? You can just say inglese and raise up your eyebrows. That always works. And then uno, uno, due. Memorize that number. Uno, uno, due. Okay, so there you have it, guys. I tried to make it super simple. Go through this video, go through the document that I'm putting up on school, and make your own little document, because a lot of this has, well, you could say this, you could say that, and it's masculine or it's feminine, blah, blah, blah. Forget all of that. Just memorize what you need to know. Make that little card for your wallet. I'm diabetic. I take these medicines. I have a pacemaker, blah, 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 blah. Whatever your particular situation is, put it in your wallet, laminate it, because it'll get folded up and messed up. And that's my best advice for handling an emergency in Italy. Now, stay tuned. We're going to have a lot of other really helpful and useful stuff here. Take care, guys.